As Canada continues to see the number of new cases of COVID-19 grow, a Canadian in China right now is watching the opposite happen on the other side of the curve. Liam Mather is from Toronto. He lives in Beijing with his girlfriend, Chloe. And at its peak, you'll remember, China was seeing more than 14,000 cases in a single day. Now, today, there are fewer than 100 new cases a day, and the country is slowly opening back up. Liam is joining us this morning from Beijing, and good to see you and to speak with you, Liam.
Hi, Anne-Marie. Thanks for having me on the program.
We really want to get a sense of what life is like on the other side of that curve. But first of all, you and Chloe have been under self-imposed quarantine since February 1st. What was that like,
right.
and what's it like in Beijing now?
You know, we actually quickly developed a very fulfilling routine. So we started to cook from home, work from home, work out within our house. China has a very advanced mobile and delivery infrastructure, so we've been ordering most of our groceries in. We haven't seen anyone else in 8 weeks. My hockey beer league has been canceled, so elements of it have been very tough, but I think overall it's been manageable.
We've been seeing on this side of the world that stores and some businesses are slowly starting to open in Beijing. I'm hearing from some people who live there, though, that they still feel nervous about going out after being inside for so long. How are you feeling?
Yeah, still a little bit nervous. I'm planning to work at home for at least another week or two. Even though the domestic outbreak seems to have been contained, there's a concern of imported cases, so people coming from abroad, perhaps carrying the infection with them. So I think the whole world will need to be vigilant for the next little while, but certainly through aggressive social distancing and other policy tools, I think a semblance of normality can be achieved, and that's what's starting to happen here.
You know, we are wondering this around the office. You know, you've been in self-isolation since February 1st, so weeks now. Does it change how you think and how you feel like you want to interact with people?
I don't know about that, but certainly we've learned to cope with the new reality. So interacting with people primarily online. In fact, I think it's provided an opportunity to just slow down, pursue hobbies that previously didn't have time for, connect with people that maybe you were too busy to connect with in the past. So we've tried to make the most out of it.
One of the things that you did was write this letter about your experiences in Beijing, the Toronto Star publishing part of that. It's coming out tomorrow. You said in your letter, by fixating on China's authoritarian system, the West did not internalize the lesson that the coronavirus demanded a swift and decisive response. What should we have learned from China's response?
Well, just in one of your earlier news stories, I saw that in some hospitals in Quebec and across the West, this is the case. There's a shortage of protective equipment for hospital workers. Some other examples, there's intensive care units are overwhelmed. A lot of governments have been encouraging their people to self-isolate at home instead of seeking medical treatment. And in China, that same advice was given, and it led to rampant household transmission. So instead of one person requiring treatment, if they stayed at home, they would pass it on to their friends or their family, and then there would be maybe 4 cases. So I think some of these mistakes were replicated, and I'm not sure Western governments prepared their people for the potential outbreaks that have now since happened. So it has been a bit frustrating to watch. But what I can say is that in China, through the collective efforts of people here and through policies that were eventually implemented, the outbreak was contained, and I'm confident that Canadians and Canada can see this through as well.
Liam, in just the few moments that we have left, if you can say anything to Canadians as we are starting our time in isolation and about to head into this curve, an extended curve, what do you want us to know?
First, it will get better. Second, look out for each other. My girlfriend, Chloe, she launched this donation drive to deliver feminine hygiene products to medical workers on the front line in Hubei province. And China doesn't have as robust a civil society as Canada. So as all Canadians are enduring this outbreak in the next month or 2 months, I think Canadians really have an opportunity to come together, help out their communities, and I'm confident that they will do that.
Liam Mather, I want to thank you for joining us from Beijing this morning.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.